Hey y'all, welcome back or welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are doing so well. I wanted to come and tell you what I was reading in January, give you all the reviews that I can with limited to no spoilers, of course. So let's get into it. Okay, so first up, we have His and Hers by Alice Feeney. Now, I started the year out with this book because I wanted to be finished with it prior to the TV show that came out on Netflix. I think it came out like January 5th or 8th or something like that, but I wanted to have the book completed prior to watching the show so I can see the differences. I think that the book was better, which is typically the case, so that's fine. But I do enjoy the both of the actors who play the main characters in the book. I like both of them, and so I was excited to watch. But I think the way that the story went down was really different in a different order, different details than what was in the book. But it was still really good. I enjoyed the show. So if you haven't read this book or seen the show, I think you should definitely read the book first and then watch the show as well. It was a quick limited series. I think it was like 6 episodes. 6 episodes, excuse me. I think I finished it in like a day, but it was good. Only thing I'll tell you about this one, it's a mystery. There is some murdering going on amongst a group of people who at one point went to high school together, and so we're figuring out a little bit more about who's doing the killing, okay, what's going on there. And there's also a lot of other storylines that are being explored throughout the main one of who's doing all this killing. And so there's lots of twists throughout the book, and there's like a really good big twist at the end that is also in the TV show as well. But I think it made a little bit more sense in the context that it was rolled out in the book versus it felt a little bit like kind of out of nowhere ish in the TV show. But that's also because I have all the context of me reading the book and getting all the great detail that Alice Feeney put into it. So, anyways, I really did enjoy it, and I think you should read it. I think I ended up giving it 4 stars. Okay, next up, The Last Town. This was a 5-star read, and this is me realizing in real time that this is my first 5-star read of the year. I forgot about it. I'm like, oh, I haven't had a 5-star read yet. Oh, I've been had one. I just forgot. This is the last book in the Wayward Pines series by Blake Crouch. I really enjoyed this entire series. I love Blake Crouch's writing. It keeps me on my toes. Like I never know what's gonna happen, and a lot of his things include like time jumps and stuff like that that I've read so far. I want to get through the rest of his books this year as well. But this story basically is like to give you a little bit of what it's about. There's this weird little town called Wayward Pines where these people, you're in this town and you can tell that something's off. Everybody's a little too nice, things are moving a little too perfectly. And there's a person, our main male character, he comes in and he's like, this is kind of weird. He wakes up in this town. Apparently, I think he was like in a car accident or something, is what he's told. And he is confused and he's not understanding and not remembering things. And so we're walking through the story with him as he's figuring out what's going on in this weird town. And so that happens. I can't tell you anymore because, like I said, it's a 3-part series, so I don't want to give any details that will spoil it. But it's really interesting, and getting to the bottom of what's going on in this town and who's all behind it and all this and all that is very exciting. And it was just really fun to listen to. This was an audiobook for me, if I didn't say that already. It was just really fun to listen to. I was locked in the entire time from book 1 to the book 3, but book 3 was by far my favorite book. It just, I don't know, I think it just was giving me, it was connecting all the dots because it's the last book in the trilogy. So it's connecting all the dots. There's so much action, like the action scenes in here of what was going on when there's fighting and other things that I cannot say. I was like, like I was tore up. So I really enjoyed it. Like I said, this was a 5-star read for me. If you have not read any of Blake Crouch's stuff, I think this is a great place to start with the series. But he has a lot of other books that I've talked about before, like Recursion and stuff like that. So this was definitely my first 5-star read of the year, and I need to go and buy this entire series. I wanted a trophy set for me because I really enjoyed it. All right, next up we have Deep Cuts by Holly Brickley. I love this book. First of all, get into the cover. Can y'all see this? It's like a vinyl with their faces kind of etched in there. And then at the bottom, let me see if y'all can see it. I hope that that's clear. If not, so sorry. But at the bottom, it has a list of all of the chapter names listed out like a soundtrack list. And I love that. I've been wanting to read this book for a long time. I didn't know anything about it outside of it had some kind of romance aspect to it. and that it was very heavily dealing with music. And as someone who loves music down, and I'm into like the details of how songs are made and stuff like that, I thought this would be really, really cool. And so I found this book a couple, I guess, I think at the end of December, I found it at Half Price Books, and I was like, this is a really nice copy, and I was like, let's just get it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a really great fiction book. I loved the way that they broke down different things about some of my favorite songs, and like learning some of the lore behind my favorite songs that I didn't know about was really, really cool. And then I found that our lead couple in here, not even a, I hate to call them a couple, but the romantic interest that was forming between these people was quite annoying a lot of the times. It was really annoying, and I understand the way it's set up. It's like chronicling their relationship over lots of years, and I don't mean like they're together the whole time. I just mean like in general the relationship that they have. And at some points it was so annoying, but it was also very, very real, because it's like that feeling when you feel like you're tied to a person. You feel like you're tied to a person, and so when you're going through life, you still have that feeling to want to look back and check on them and see what they've got going on, and you're harboring these feelings, both positive and negative, for one another. And I wrote something. I'm gonna see if I don't think I think I wrote it on Fable. I wrote a little review about it that I wanted to share with you guys. Hold on. Okay, here's my Fable review that I wrote about it. I said, I really enjoyed this one. The impossible nature of seemingly never being able to get it right with the one you love, the one you feel as if you share the same musical brain with, and the question of, is this otherworldly connection and love based on music enough to make the relationship last? I wish I could check in on them now to see if they ended up staying together, which, now that I think about it, I think that they might have. I'm a little bit more optimistic after having some time away. But I think that that review gives more details about kind of what to expect without spoiling it. But if you are someone who I think just someone who enjoys music, I think it's really cool. A nice aspect of that book just made me more excited to keep reading each chapter, because even when you look at the soundtrack list that I showed you guys earlier, some of my favorite songs are in there, and I was like, oh, can't wait. And like, I remember underlining whenever they would mention, even if it wasn't like the singular song that the chapter is based around, if they would mention a song, I'd be like, ah, there it is. I didn't know about this. This is so exciting. So it was just fun, and I learned a lot. And um, although there was parts that made me frustrated and annoyed with the main female character, I just was like, it's fine overall. I think I gave it 4 stars. I think I gave it 3.75, but I rounded up to 4 on Goodreads. So I think it's definitely worth your time. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I think that you would like it if you like a little fiction with some romance in there and a whole other aspect with the music. I think it's worth your time. Okay, next up we have Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. Y'all already know how I feel about Miss Abby. I love her down. And so I had started reading the Happily Ever After playlist, that series. I started reading that last year. I read the first book, loved it. Second book, didn't love it as much as the first, but I did love it. And then the third book, Life's Too Short, I didn't like it very much. I ended up giving it like 3 stars. It wasn't a bad book or anything like that, but I feel like it was really repetitive, and I feel like I at a certain point I just was like, let's skip to the end. I just wanted to be over. And I like the way it started. Like, I love the way she starts a book. I think it started really great, but towards the middle of it, I think it just became a little bit repetitive for me, to where I found myself not as locked in with the characters, and I kind of was just waiting for it to get to the resolution so that we could be done with it, versus really wanting to stick around and stay inside of a book with her, which is normally how I feel when I read Abby Jimenez books. So that's okay. I'm not going to love every single thing that one of my favorite authors puts out, but overall, like I said, I still like the series, because the other 2 books I did really, really enjoy. This one was definitely my least favorite in the series. But it's also an older book, so a lot of y'all might have already read this. If not, I don't think that you shouldn't read it, but just be prepared. Like, if you're going to read the entire series, the third one might be a little bit more like challenging for you to get through. But I still think it's worth the time. I still enjoyed the story that she gave. I felt the love in my chest, as always. She always makes me feel that way. So I still got what I like to get from a book from her. But still, I think it was an okay book from her, but I still gave it 3 stars. And then to finish out the month, I literally finished this on the 31st, probably towards the end of the night, because I just really wanted to get it done and finish it before going into February. But that last book is going to be Eternal Ruin by Tigist Germa. I absolutely love this book. Y'all know from my previous video, I told you guys I wanted to read this before the 2026 ended, and so I was like, let me go ahead and get it done now. I want to read it, and so I loved it so much. And let me just show y'all this beautiful book again. Like, get into it. Like, this is just a nice book, and I'll take off the sleeve later and show you guys. That's a lie. I'm not taking it off. I don't even know why I said that, but I really like this book so much. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I think I might like Immortal Dark better, maybe, but I really, really enjoyed it. And there was a part, okay, there's a part at the end of chapter 71 or the end of chapter 73, where something really great happens, and a character, I can't even say it because it's hard to give details. I don't like giving details at all, y'all know this, but it's hard to give details about a book that's in a series, because like if you give the detail, then it's going to spoil it for the person who hasn't read book 1 yet, you know what I'm saying, or is in the middle of book 1. So I'll just say that something warmed my heart that happened, I think, at the end of chapter 71 or 73. And I said, okay. Because I was starting, like, you know how sometimes when you're reading, especially when it comes to like these kinds of books, like fantasy-ish, dark academia kind of books, I'm still more new to things of that nature. And so like sometimes I find myself zoning out a little bit, not because I'm not interested, but because I'm like, they're doing a little bit of explaining or world building or whatever the case may be. And I might zone out for a second. But I got pulled back in. I said, all right, I'm with you, Miss Tigist. I'm with you. So I really enjoyed this book. I think I just have a good time. Like, I'm always like whenever I'm reading something from her. So I'm really, really excited to see what she's gonna do with this book 3. I think it comes out this year. um I'm very excited to see. One, I want to know, I don't even know if it's been announced what it's going to be called yet, what book 3 is called. I'm excited to get the name because I love the way she name drops the book in the book. I feel like we all like that whenever you get to that part where you hear the name or the title of the book when you're reading it. Just something about it just feels good. So I'm really excited for book 3. I feel like she just knows what she's doing. And as someone who, as y'all know, I love the vampirism of it all. I'm just really into it. So I'm excited to just have another one already lined up for the year. And also, side note, I started watching this show called The Strain. It's an older show, but my dad told me about it because he knows I'm into the vampire stuff. And so that's what kind of got me to pick up this book, because I started watching that show and their version of how the vampires do things. It's some of the same things that we know about, but it's really different. It's set up in a way to where it's like a disease that spreads, like different from like, oh, I've gotten bitten. It's interesting the way they're exploring it. And so I was just enjoying that show, and I was like, you know what? I said, time for me to pick up Eternal Ruin. It's about that time. So I'm happy to have made that my last book of the month. It was really, really good. I truly liked it and truly enjoyed it. Okay, now time to get into my February hopefuls. Now, I may not read everything on this list or anything at all. I don't really know, but I do have a few things that I plan on reading. Usually in February, I like to stick to romance books and anything that has to do with Black history or Black authors, something like that. I like to do both of those things every February, which is why I have my For the Love of Books pop up coming up on Saturday, February 7th. If you guys are in the DFW area, you can come shop a whole bunch of books made by Black authors, romance books, and other genres as well, plus my custom stickers and bookmarks and all kinds of bookish stuff that I'm going to have there. So if you're in the Dallas area, I'll have more information linked in the description box as well. So you can go ahead and check that out. I would love to see you guys there. But if for some reason you're not able to make it, or if you don't live in the Dallas area, I have an Etsy store where I'll be uploading new bookmarks and stickers here after the pop-up. I'm going to sell the ones that I have on hand right now, and then I will upload those up there. But I still have some of my older things that you can purchase. So I will get those shipped out to you as soon as I can if you do want to support on my Etsy store. So I'll have both of those things linked in the description box for you. Anyways, let's get back into it. So the first book that I will be reading is The Problem with Dating by Brittany Cherry. I read The Holidates by her in December, and I love that book. Like, dare I say, my favorite Christmas book that I have read so far. Like, I really enjoyed that book so much. It was so fun. And so it made me want to read more of her stuff. And so this book, I think it's the first in a series. I think there's a couple books in this one. Is it one or is it three? I think. Yeah, there's three of them. And so I'm really excited to get through them all. But I actually started this one at 12 a.m. unintentionally. I just looked up and I felt like reading. And I looked up, it was like 11:59. So I started this book literally at 12 a.m. on February 1st. And so far I'm already really enjoying it. I read it a little bit this morning when I went to the gym, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna keep reading that right now. But after I finish that, I have a few other ones in mind. So next up, I have Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. This book I'm really excited about. It's been on my list for a long time. I have no clue what to expect going in, but I do know that it's nonfiction. I think it's like a memoir, just kind of describing her different um experiences with all kinds of love, I think. So I'm excited to read it, and hopefully learn something from it. It's been on my list for a long time, and I plan on, if I can, I might try to get the physical book for it, but I think it is on Kindle Unlimited, so I might read it there first. But I really do want to read that. So those are my two, at least the first two love related things that I want to get through. I also want to read an S.A. Cosby book. This will be my first book by him. I think I'm going to go Razorblade Tears or Blacktop Wasteland. I'm going to read one of those to start off with him. He's an author that I've really been wanting to sink my teeth into, and I just haven't had a chance. So I want to read a lot of his stuff. A lot of my friends have told me that he's obviously amazing, and so I'm excited to get into it. So I'm going to read one of those this month. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be one of those two. Okay, now this one is a long shot for me because I have to be in the mood to get into some fantasy or romantasy. I have to be in the mood for it. So we'll see if I can make it happen. But dare I say, I will start ACOTAR this month. I have A Court of Thorn and Roses, or is it and Roses? See, I don't even know the name of the book. Not off to a good start. Um, I have that physical copy of that book on my shelf. I'm literally looking at it right now. I've got it over there. It's ready for me. Okay. I think this could be the month that I read that. If I do it, this will be great because one of my goals for the year is to finish that entire series. So it would make sense that I would go ahead and get at least book one done this early in the year. Let's go ahead and make that happen. So that's on my list. Like it's on the waiting list. It's on the side. Like I just don't know, because if I'm not in the mood for it, I don't care what's going on. I'm not reading it. So we'll see. But I definitely want to get to that. Outside of that, I am still currently reading Songs of Solomon by Toni Morrison. I put it down for the month of January, so I want to get back into that this month. I'm not saying I'm going to finish it. I'm taking my time through that book. I want to make sure I'm understanding everything. So I already know I have to read it more than once anyways, but I am going to get back to reading that. I think I'm like 20% through, so I need to go back, refresh myself over what's happened because I haven't picked it up since December. So I need to refresh, figure out what's going on, and then get back into it. So I want to do that. And then outside of that, this one is not in the category of like super lovey or black author, but I do want to read Atmosphere. I found this book the other day, a really pristine copy from Half Price Books. It just came in. The lady I was speaking with told me, she's like, it just got here, and it was the only copy. And I have heard such good things about this book. And another one of my goals for the year is to read more Taylor Jenkins Reid. And although my original plan was to read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo first, because like that's like the classic book by her. Like everybody talks about that book. But I saw Atmosphere and I was like, I gotta have it. And it's a hardback. I was like, I need it. I need it. Okay, so I got that. And it's been eyeing me on my shelf every single day since I purchased it. Like, read me. Read me. Come on and read me. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm considering it. I probably won't read it till like maybe mid-February. We'll see. But I'm really excited about it. So I probably will get to that sometime soon as well. Outside of that, I don't know where else my little brain will take me in terms of books that I want to read. I have a lot of physical TPR that I want to get through, and there's a good chunk of romance in there. Oh, one more. There is one more. It's This Could Be Forever by Ebony Liddell. She writes YA, and so I read her book a couple years ago called Love Radio, and I don't typically like YA. I just feel like I can't relate that much. I mean, I'm not that old, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it's just a little too childish for me, but not her writing. I was very much in with the story. It never felt like it was too childish or I couldn't get with it or anything like that. Like it felt like just a really well written story and a very cute romance, okay, and very tasteful, okay. Wasn't doing too much, and it was something that I feel like I could give to um someone younger than me that could really who could read it and really enjoyed it as well. So I really liked her writing. But she came up with a book, I think either last year or the year before, called This Could Be Forever. And it's a beautiful cover. I'll go get it for you guys. I want you guys to see it. Hold on. Okay. It's a beautiful cover. Look at that. It's so pretty. And I have no clue what this one's about either. You know how I am, I like to go into books blind, but I just loved it. It's just so pretty. So I had to buy a nice hard copy of it. I really can't wait to read it. I just remember just feeling so warm and happy when I was reading Love Radio. So I hope to experience some similar feelings going into this book. I might try to read that now because right now I'm currently reading The Problem with Dating on my Kindle, but I could read This Could Be Forever as a physical book right now. So we'll see what I get into. But that might be one that I try to finish this month as well. Other than that, I think that's probably what I'll get through. That's about 5 or 6 books, I think. So I'm excited to experience these stories and learn more about these characters and read some new authors that I haven't read before. So I think it's going to be a really good month for reading. February is one of my favorite months of the year. I love Valentine's Day. I love love. I love celebrating Black people and Black history. This is so cool. This is the 100th time that we have celebrated Black History Month. This is the 100th Black History Month, which is really really cool. So I'm excited to get into some Black authors and just read and enjoy myself. And I hope you guys are going to do the same. Once again, I hope to see some of you guys at my pop up this Saturday if you're in the Dallas area. But other than that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful month. Happy Black History Month. Happy Love Month. I will talk to you guys soon. I love you. Bye.